Hello, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Let's give people a couple of minutes to join the call, and then we can start, if that's okay. Okay, thank you, everyone. Again, thank you for being here. Welcome to this webinar. And I think we're ready to start. If that's okay, everything is working, Facebook, Zoom, okay. Well, thank you, everyone, for being here. Welcome to this webinar where we, the CSF team, the Numbers for Nature Training Institute team, want to share with you a little bit more about our international course, Economics and Finance for Environmental Leadership. This is our 26th edition of this course. We do this every year. And this is a 10-week online course that will start on July the 8th and go through September 13th. So this webinar is to tell you more about this course, but also about CSF, the Numbers for Nature Training Institute, and everything we do. And we're gonna also share the time with our spectacular alumni, instructors, and analysts, economists from CSF. So this is the agenda. It's gonna be around one hour webinar. We're gonna talk about CSF and the Training Institute. We're gonna talk about CSF research applications, this flagship course, sorry. We're gonna present some testimonials from our alumni and instructors. We're gonna give you a registration discount, special for the people that is participating in this webinar. And then we're gonna have some minutes for Q&A, any questions that you have about the course, about CSF, our work, you can ask them there. Sorry for the noise. Can we continue? Okay, so CSF, Conservation Strategy Fund, it's a global NGO, and we work and we are specialized in economic analysis and economic tools and financial tools that are used to do our conservation work, to work better. We do this through analysis, through research, and also through capacity building. And we do this with donors, clients, partners, and we work basically all around the world. The organization was founded in 1998, and the conviction that conservation and development can not only coexist, but can also be mutually reinforcing. We're gonna show you a very short video that will show you a little bit better how we work, what we do, in a very dynamic way.
Economic development, two forces that are often seen at odds with one another. Some people want to protect the trees and the fish, while others want to convert these resources into economic value, and rarely do the two sides come together. But what if the battle between economic development and the environment wasn't a battle at all? What if looking at things from a broader perspective showed us that a mutually beneficial future was actually possible? At Conservation Strategy Fund, we apply expertise in both conservation and economics to create innovative solutions that consider the larger picture. In one case, the government of Panama was considering building a road through cloud forests of the Volcan Baru National Park. Panama's president favored a northern route, opposed by locals for its ecological impacts. Our analysis concluded that in addition to the cost to the environment, This road would lose nearly $1 million. This project was bad for the environment and was bad business. Our studies show that an alternate southern route would have economic and environmental advantages. By considering financial and ecological sustainability, we found a solution that was better for both. Right now, the world is facing the major problem of collapsing fisheries due to massive overfishing. Overfishing sometimes works as a short-term strategy, but it eventually leads to diminishing returns that threaten the livelihoods of fishermen and the environment. With economic incentives that are misaligned, we are all supporting a system that will eventually lead to both environmental and economic ruin. How might we change our policies to create a sustainable future for both fishermen and our oceans? Are there ways to utilize economics and environmentalism together to tackle this enormous challenge? We think so. By looking at challenges through a new lens, we can form unusual coalitions. We can move past the old idea of environment versus economy and find creative new solutions.
Great, thank you. So as the video was mentioning, and I just want to be sure that you can all hear me well.
Yes, I see.
Thank you, Thais. So can we continue in the presentation? As the video was mentioning, basically what we do is we use economic as a language to communicate. And what we want to communicate is the true cost and benefit of human activities. And we also want to avoid the destruction of natural resources in development projects and share nature's benefit equitably to inform and guide smarter development decisions that support nature conservation and improve human well-being. So it's basically how we use economics and finance tools to do better our work, to communicate better with other sectors of the society and of the economy. Conservation Strategy Fund does, as I was mentioning, this basically through research and through capacity building. With our research, we demonstrate how our lives and our own well-beings depend on the well-being of the ecosystems. And we do this basically through 4 pillars. Estimating the benefits of protecting nature, this is what we call addressing positive externalities. Estimating the cost of destroying nature, which is basically estimate the negative externalities, and you will learn what these concepts mean and how we use them during the course. Third, we do financing, nature protection and restoration, and 4th, capacity building. And we would like to start telling you about how our research is used by introducing Thais Vilela. She is one of our analysts, economists, and she has been with CSF for many, many years doing research all over the world. And she will let you know, and she will tell you more about how we use economic tools for conservation. So thank you so much, Thais, for joining us. And please go ahead.
Thank you, Nati, for the invitation. So hello, everyone. As mentioned, I was invited here to talk about the use of economics at CSF. But I think to talk about this, we must first understand what economics is. So if you Google it, you'll find like a few definitions related to scarcity, incentives, and behavior. And they are all correct, but for me, it's a little bit more than that. I believe we economists have like a different way of thinking. We are almost always interested in equilibrium situations and how small changes of a variable affect the equilibrium. So in a way, we are going from one equilibrium to another. We also aim to understand the distribution of the benefits and costs, as Nat was mentioning, among like different sectors of the economy or like different stakeholders. As economists, we have like several methods or tools available that we can use to, again, calculate the equilibrium situations, calculate change in the equilibrium, understand individuals' decisions. And here at CSF, we use like all the tools, focusing like on the social and environmental aspects of the decision-making process. So we provide like additional information to policymakers or decision makers to help them make better decisions, considering not only the financial results from these decisions, but also the social and environmental results, positive or negative. So for example, we did a study in Peru in which we calculated the net benefit of creating a protected area. For this, we conducted a cost-benefit analysis and an environmental valuation analysis to calculate the value of the benefits of the ecosystem service provided by the area. And it's interesting that this kind of analysis is being demanded by government authorities. So a lot of people ask me about the government and local communities' openness to this kind of study, and I would say that it's increasing a lot. Of local communities, we have conducted economic impact analysis of infrastructure projects, including some green projects, to help them better communicate with authorities. So we have done like several studies here at CSF about, for example, the impact of like building roads in the Amazon. We understand that some roads should be built and that their construction will potentially improve the quality of the local communities. However, this is not true like for all roads, especially like in the Amazon. The cost of constructing like a new road or even like improving an existing road might be much higher than the expected benefits. Besides, again, like in the case of some roads, the benefits will go to a small group or will not benefit most of the communities close to the road. So, okay, we need to build some roads, but let's think about which roads should be invested in and which should be avoided or not constructed. So what I want to say that we are not against progress, we are not against like infrastructure development, but we do believe that using some of the economic tools you will learn like throughout the course will help you provide like high quality, rigorous information to government and the private sector, so they can like make smarter decisions. Decisions that include like the social impacts, positive or negative, in their actions. So like to summarize, I think this course will change your perspective on things in general. I truly believe that people make the best choice they can, given the information they have and their needs. So we need to understand these needs and what kind of information they currently have, so we can start thinking about like changes, new, more sustainable equilibriums. So thank you very much again for the opportunity to be here, Nati, talking about like this subject. Back to you, Nati.
Thank you so much, Thais, for sharing with us your experience and everything that you do for CSF is wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us here. And as I was mentioning at the beginning of the webinar, we do research, which is what Thais was telling us about, and we do capacity building, right? We have created the numbers for Nature Training Institute back in 2022 to do, this is like our training arm of CSF. We created an online platform where we host all our courses, online courses, and we also support our in-person courses. The online platform, it's numbersfornature.org. And it will contain all the course materials in just one place. The course will be divided into pre-recorded sessions that people will need to watch before the live sessions with our experts. I didn't mention this, but the course, every module of the course is taught by a different person, a different expert that actually has a lot of expertise in the real world, using the tools that they will teach you. So you will find everything there in this platform. It is also a communication channel that will allows the team, the instructors, and the participants to communicate better. So what we're presenting today is the 26th edition of our flagship international course that we have been doing for the last 26 years, Economics and Finance for Environmental Leadership. And this is the 2024th edition that we do during the summer. The curriculum and what you will be learning during this experience is we have 7 modules during these 10 weeks. So some of the modules will take 2 weeks and others will take 1 week. We have environmental economics, natural resource economics, ecosystem services and valuation, cost-benefit analysis, conservation finance, environmental policy, and behavioral economics. This is the first time we have added this new topic that is also being used more and more. This is kind of mixing a little bit. Oh my God, I forgot the word. It's a little bit of psychiatry, psychology, economics, and policy too. The live sessions, we will have 2 every week. Live sessions will happen during Tuesdays and Thursdays. And this is the time, 1 to 2:30. I think this is Eastern time. And we also have 1 makeup live session every week on Thursday at 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. And this session is basically for those people who couldn't join the other regular sessions because of time differences, because they couldn't do it. But anyway, if you can attend the sessions, you can always watch the recorded sessions in the platform that we just show you. So to continue speaking about our course, we have invited David Meyers. David is the Executive Director of Conservation Finance Alliance, and he is also one of our instructors. He teaches the Conservation Finance module, and he's here to also tell us about his experiences and his thoughts about this course. So David, welcome. Thank you very much for taking your time and joining us today.
Thank you, Natalia. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been involved with this course or the precursor of this for like over 20 years, I guess. So, but we've been bringing in the finance piece for the last 4 years or so. And I just want to say that overall the course is an amazing experience. You know, for conservation, we constantly struggle with convincing decision makers of the importance of conservation. We know we're not getting enough funding for nature, but we don't always know why. It seems it's obvious we should save nature. It provides us with water, it provides us with soil and protection from climate. So all these benefits we get from nature. Why aren't people spending more money to conserve nature? Why aren't we investing more in our protected areas? Why are we constantly battling with the development new roads and dams. And this course will not solve all of those questions for you, but it will really give you a good orientation on how to think about those questions. And what we've always found with regard to, not being afraid to look at the numbers, not being afraid to do detailed quantitative analysis or think about things from an economic point of view, is it enables you to get to the table with decision makers, with the ministries of finance, ministries of economy that actually make the key decisions for governments. It allows you to talk to business in a language that they understand, so you can have meaningful conversations. You still have to convince people, and often that involves touching their hearts with your passion and your knowledge and the need, but getting understanding the numbers, not being afraid, understanding the economics behind some of these decision making is really essential to get you to that table. So I really can't say enough about how good this course is. I mean, the content, it covers such a range of topics. All the lecturers are dynamic. They've been teaching this for years. They're going to really inspire you as well as inform you. And it's just something that you really, if you're considering doing it, I highly, highly recommend this course. And there's been a lot of alumni, Nati was saying, this course has been run for many years, and the alumni have gone on to bring economics and finance into their careers, to advance their careers with better knowledge of economics and being able to, again, speak the language of business, speak the language of government, finance ministries and things. And that really helps in your career, really helps accomplishing conservation outcomes. And so it's something that really is worth doing. And then just in terms of the quality of the lecturers and the material, this has been refined over the years. As I mentioned, we now have this conservation finance component to which all of the economics, in a way, provide background to understand how to then leverage that knowledge to make financial decisions and to use finance tools like improving entrance fees or reducing harmful subsidies and all these changes that we know need to take place. We now have the language for that conversation. And so, again, thank you for inviting me to participate in this. And it's always been a pleasure working with you on this course, and look forward to this next round. Back to you, Nadi.
Thank you. Thank you, David, for joining us and sharing your experience with this course. As you mentioned, it's been 26 years of teaching it, and we have all the topics, the package that professionals, if you are an economist and want to know more about how to use economics for conservation, for nature conservation, or if you have no idea about economics, this course is also going to give you those tools and to tell you and to let you know how to use them better, when to use them, when not to use them, because that is also very important, right? And essentially how to communicate better the results and get the results that you're looking for. So as we have been doing this for 26 years, both in person and online, we have many, many great alumni that join, that are part of our network, as you will be if you join the course. And to tell you more about how the experience of being part of one of our courses is, we have invited Sarah Chiles. Sarah, thank you so much for taking your time. And please go ahead and tell us how this course have helped you, and whatever you want to share with our participants from 2024 edition of this course.
Thank you, Natalia. It's really great to be here and to share something about my experience with the international course, and just really communicate just how transformational that course was for me and so many others who've done that course since. And I really don't say transformational lightly. I think this course has the potential to shift perspectives and potential for conservation advancement in a way that many other conservation courses out there don't do. And so, as David has already said, I really encourage those of you who are thinking about this to take up the opportunity and go for it. So firstly, just a little bit about me. So I'm, as Natalia said, I'm Sarah Chiles. I'm South African, but have been based in Kenya for the last 11 years. And I work on issues related to infrastructure and biodiversity. And so I've been given a few questions to answer, and so I'll go through those. So yeah, what brought me to this course initially? So I was working for AWF at the time, the African Wildlife Foundation, and we were looking at a large dam that was going in northern Kenya. And through our networks, we were introduced to the Conservation Strategy Fund, and we then went forward and developed a local economic cost study on this dam, which has essentially influenced decision-making since. And that dam was going to be imminently built at the time. It's still not built, I think because of the concerns, in part because of the concerns that were raised in that report. And so from that early stage back in 2016, I got to grips with the importance of economics and conversations with the infrastructure sector. And so when I had the opportunity in 2018 to be a part of the course, I signed up, and we had an in-person course in Berkeley. This was pre-COVID times. And yeah, so I came to the course in an organic way, and I think many people do through networks. And that's really the beauty of CSF in many ways. It really cultivates networks, really looks for people for whom this course will add real value to their careers. The next question I was given was, who is my favorite instructor? And this is a tricky one. And I think, yeah, many alumni will say this, but David Johnson, who's an economist at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, was my favorite just because of his exuberance and passion for economics. And I think what that helped to do was really calm all of us who felt that the topic was really daunting for us. It made it more accessible. He was super approachable. It was really fun. And I can say the same for all the instructors, but David really, in his provision of the foundational concepts of economics, really just gave us that sense that these new concepts were legible to us. Did anything stand out to me about CSF's training? A lot of things, and that's already been communicated a little bit about by the CSF staff. But I think the first thing is that the intention was clear in the beginning. This is not a course for a course's sake. This is a course that can be used practically and should be applied. And so CSF is really intentional about providing lots of examples about their work so that you can think proactively about applying those to yours. The second thing is that the staff and instructors are really personable. And so while you're thinking about numbers for nature, you are not a number in the course. There's a real sense that your background, your opportunities for influence, your interests are given real value by the staff. And I think one course in particular, one of the instructors, and I can't think who it was exactly now, after teaching us for something like 3 hours, knew all of our names by the end of that. And so, yeah, you will be really valued in this course, is what I want to say. And then the third one is just the commitment to diversity and diverse perspectives. And CSF has this incredible global network. So you'll be with people on this course from all over the world. You'll get to learn from them and be able to teach others about your perspective based on what you're doing and where you're living. The next question was, how have I used this training in my work? So as I alluded to earlier, I work in the infrastructure and biodiversity sector. And in 2018, I started a program of work with 2 organizations. So that was Grevy's Zebra Trust and Ewaso Lions in Northern Kenya. We were setting up a program to look at the impacts of incoming infrastructure on Northern Kenya and its biodiversity. And how I've used this course, as I said earlier, has been super transformational. It's given me the confidence to engage with government, with finance sector, with private development proponents on the language that they use and has really allowed me to advocate for more inclusive, holistic planning. And one little example I'll give you is that we've been engaged for the last few years in setting up a partnership agreement with this coordinating body, which is looking at all this infrastructure coming into northern Kenya. And one of the key activities that we've been able to include in that is developing a business case for a green corridor. And that really is because of the work that CSF has done and has empowered me to speak about. Next question. Do you maintain connections with other participants from your cohort or CSF staff? And the question is resoundingly yes. We had a really awesome cohort. We have an active WhatsApp group. We had people from around the world, and it's just been really fun to continue engaging with that team. But I've also been very actively engaged with the CSF team since, in particular Kim Bonine, who was with CSF and has now moved over to Stanford, but Thais also. So I've been a co-organizer of an African conference for infrastructure and biodiversity, and I've brought CSF in to do short training courses. We've engaged in a few workshops together, etc. And I think the wonderful thing about this course is that the CSF team and the instructors are so accessible for future collaboration. So it's really exciting. When you finish the course, the work doesn't end there, the collaboration doesn't end there. There's just such an enormous sense of opportunity going forward. And then the last question was, what is one piece of advice I would give to those who want to attend this course? And my piece of advice would be committed to application. So make sure that you, after the course, that you really set aside time to applying the concepts that you've learned so that you don't lose those concepts. It's a new set of concepts for many people. There's such value in application. And so what I would say is really engage with the CSF team, work on application in your own time so that you can really grow in applying economic tools to your work. So that's it from me. Thanks, Natalia.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing your experience, your words. Sarah is a great example of continue being part of the CSF alumni network and the CSF network in general. So thank you so much for being here and not only here in the webinar, but here with CSF every time. And we will take this moment to present also a very short video with testimonials from past alumni that will tell you a little bit more of how the experience is for participants.
Unless and until people are educated into how these policies can work, they will fear them.
To sum up kind of in one word, the reason that I have a job would be externality.
We're trying to kind of manage the here and now without really thinking about future generations and the rights that those future generations have.
If we're gonna value nature in different ways, as is the focus, how are we gonna apply those values into practice, right?
And economic analysis is trying to look at perspective of a whole group and everybody in that group.
And Ostrom looks at all these different cases, just thousands of cases over the whole world, and basically finds that we're good at cooperating.
I chose to take this course to learn more about the value of natural capital as well as ecosystem services, in the hopes of being able to outline the importance to politicians, economists, as well as policymakers.
I took this course because I wanted to understand how my work related with fisheries have this economic component.
I took this course to support objective boundaries instead of working on to assess the monetary value of growth.
One of the biggest motivation that got me into this thought-provoking course was the need to get insight into the economics of conservation and how we can get to a point where we are making a strong, sellable case for our natural assets.
I chose this course for three specific reasons. The first is to improve my technical skills on environmental economics. The second reason, the coordination with the environmental authority. The last reason is the institution, Conservation Strategic Fund.
So I did a lot of work in roads and rail infrastructure. One of the favorite parts of this course for me was cost-benefit analysis and trying to understand the developer's case, but also talking about conservation.
The module that was the best one for me was microeconomics. David is really inspiring person.
What I really, really liked and enjoyed was being able to listen to the questions, the experiences of my colleagues with similar, but also with different contexts.
It is improve this training where I can understand the real valuation process of natural resource so that we can end up with a good allocation and this allocation can make it sustainable.
What I've learned here is really concentrate my learning to support all our innovative and motivated young conservation biologists.
I'm very sure that it's going to help me in serving African cultures.
The language we use is hard to understand, but how to articulate environmental values in a story which can incorporate economic incentives and the ecosystem protection proposal.
I highly recommend this course. It's been so informative. You have a lot of opportunities to learn about other people's work and network. The teaching has been really fantastic. So I highly recommend it.
I strongly recommend the course. Thank you, Conservation Strategy Fund. Brilliant lecturers, some really, really strong behind the scenes team. And I walked away with a couple of friends peppered all across the world.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, then. I think there is a slide here that perhaps is not being shown, but I wanted to very quickly introduce you to the team that will be part of this course, the team that is not only behind, but will be with you during the whole process. We are myself, Natalia Sanin, I'm the Numbers for Nature director, the CSF training director. I'm from Colombia and I'm based here in Colombia, South America. And I've been part of CSF since 2011, part of the training team here in Latin America, but also in other regions and doing research and doing projects with CSF during all these years worldwide. And I'll be leading the training team and just joining you in during this experience. We also have Lizzie Williamson. She's the Numbers for Nature Training Coordinator, who will be the person that will be more in contact and in touch with you with all the details about the course. We have Sam Meyers. She's our Global Communications Manager. She's been supporting us during the whole process of doing these courses online. And we also have Merissa, Joju, who is our course assistant. So if any of you would like to share any words, any thoughts, Sam, Lizzie, Merissa, please go ahead before we go to the discount and the Q&A session.
Yeah, I just wanted to say hello and thank you for your interest in our international course. If you decide to join us for this course, you'll probably see my face quite a bit. I'll be helping with facilitation for our live sessions. I'm also the one most accessible on our training email, which we'll show you in just a little bit during our Q&A. But very excited about everybody's interest in this course and hopeful that some of you will be able to take the plunge with us, take that 20% off discount, and be able to apply it towards advancing your own career.
Thank you, Lizzie. Sam, maybe you want to share?
Sure. Hello, everybody. It's such a joy to see you all. Thank you for your interest in this course. This is truly, truly transformational. Some of this information is information that that really empowers people working in conservation to strengthen their strategies, to go to the table with policymakers and decision makers, backed by research, to argue for more funding for conservation, to collaborate with one another. It's really an incredible opportunity for professional development. And I'm not sure if you caught it in the video, but one of our alums mentioned how excellent the networking is for this course. You join this cohort of conservationists and environmentalists from all over the world. You're all learning together. We have a very interactive course, and there's a lot of group projects and case studies and questions and interactions with instructors. And you really get to meet and get to know a lot of your peers in the conservation space and hear from them about how they're solving the challenges that they're facing, and work together. And collaborations between our alumni after courses are pretty common too. So you're going to meet a ton of people, get very, very inspired and really empowered with this knowledge. And then you'll be able to apply it to all of your work moving forward, and you'll have a collection of new partners in conservation after the course. So I really hope that you consider joining us for the 2024 cohort. We host this course every year, so if this year doesn't work out for you, we have one next year as well. So just stay tuned and please reach out to us if you have any questions whatsoever. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. And Merissa is also going to be part of the group, the team for this year. So Merissa, do you want to share any thoughts?
Yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Merissa. I'll be the course assistant for this iteration of the course. So much like any of you that will be joining this year, this will also be my first time going through the course with all of you. So I'm really excited, especially with Lizzie, to be one of your point people. I'll be there for every single live session. And of course, I'll be very available by Slack, email, WhatsApp, all the forms of communication that we'll be using in order to help you guys have the best experience possible with this course. So I'm very excited, and I hope you decide to take advantage of this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Merissa, for joining the team this year. And as you can see in your screen, we have this special discount code that you can use, webinar discount 20 off. You can use it in our website. If you click, the link is on the chat. It's on the Zoom chat. If we can also share it on the Facebook chat. You just go there, link on the course page and register. And when you register, you just use this code and it will automatically give you 20% off. You can pay in just one payment or 3 installments. It will register automatically the code in any of these 2 options. So the code is for the first 5 people registering, and I can tell you that people has already started taking advantage of the code. We have 1 people register in this 5 minutes. So if you want to use the discount, if you want to register, please don't hesitate in do it as soon as possible. Is going to be, this code specifically is going to be available for 24 hours and only the first 5 people registering. And I just saw here in our chat, in our participant lists, that David Johnson, one of our instructors, during all these 26 years, is here in the room, in the webinar. David, if you would like to say anything to this group of people that is thinking about registering in the course, if you want to share anything with all of us, please go ahead. We have some minutes, and then we can go to Q&A. I don't want to pressure. If you're very busy, you can do it. No worries.
No, thank you, Natalia. So first, I would love to thank Sarah for the lovely words. I'm a little bit recessed here because I've just gotten back from 3 days doing field work in Kruger Park, because we're in South Africa, my wife and I. So, but I did want to show Sarah that I still wear the lovely Kenyan bracelet that I got in Nairobi when we did the work there, I guess now 1.5 years ago. So I am absolutely committed to this course. I've been teaching in this course since 2003. Hopefully you were born then. What I would say is that, yes, I'm an extraordinarily high energy guy, but a lot of that energy comes from you, the participants. You guys are basically in the field already, doing the difficult work of conservation, trying to get economic valuation put into the policies and the programs that you're trying to promote. And if I'm trying to give you a little bit of hope from this course, they just had elections here in South Africa. And for the first time, literally in 30 years, for the first time since first elections in 1994, the African National Congress did not get a majority of the votes. And one of the things that has been talked about here is the fact that in the last 4 or 5 years, due to some incredible strains on the electricity grid, the privatization of electricity and of power coming through solar has made a significant dent in the needs for South Africans to use the one and only one power company that is mostly publicly controlled in this country. So if you want a combination, I mean, the political situation here is obviously still evolving. But what's interesting is that now what's making the papers is alternative green energy making a huge dent in the energy needs of this entire beautiful country. So what a perfect time for you to come into a course that teaches you all of the microeconomics, all of the cost benefit analysis, all of the valuation studies and surveys and techniques that are necessary for you to help us all save the planet. So you guys have the tough job. To me, I have the easy job because I have a captive audience every year of people who are doing the difficult work. To use a little bit of kind of hackneyed prose, we often talk about people in the sense that they can talk the talk, but they can't walk the walk. And what I love about these courses is that's entirely backwards. You are joining this course as people who are already walking the walk of the difficult work of conservation. What some of you need a little bit more of is that talking the talk of microeconomics, of cost benefit analysis, of everything that this course gives you. So even though my day job, I teach lots and lots and lots of undergraduates in their first principles of micro courses ever in their lives. But I think this is by far and away the most important work that I do because I can immediately see it. And all of the course participants and Sarah and all the alumni and the staff of this course can give you so much information about how immediate the impact of this knowledge is on the work that you're doing, because it now becomes a critical part to the success of your programs. So I hope to see you in a month or so. Welcome if you've already signed up to take that 20% discount. Perfect, it's a subsidy, right? Just take that and we'll weave it into the notion of greener energy subsidies in about a month. So thank you, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David, for joining the webinar and for your words. I think it's fantastic that you made it to join us today. It's very weird to see you on white shirt. You look great. And to the rest of participants, future participants who hasn't registered, please go ahead as soon as possible, because we already have 2 people registered, so we only have 3 left webinar discount codes. And just to mention that when you go there to the platform, first you need to create your user account, and then you will register in the course. There are 2 steps that you need to follow. So when you create your user, you create a password, and then you register in the course. So now we have some minutes for some questions. If you have, I think you already shared some on the chat. Adriana asked if she can't join and I'm just gonna repeat it. I know that we already answered in the chat. For those who can't read the chat because they are in the Facebook streaming. So the question is, if you can't join the Tuesday and Thursday regular sessions at 1 p.m. Eastern time, if it's okay only to join the makeup session on Thursdays nights, that's completely fine. The idea of these live sessions is that you can actually share and spend some time with our experts, with the instructors. You will have all pre-recorded classes with the theoretical content, with the concepts. You can also watch the recorded live sessions of the regular times, and then you will have some extra time to actually share and do your ask your questions, share your own thoughts and your own experiences in the different topics directly with our instructors and of course with the other participants. So that was one question. Do we get any certificate in the end? Yes, you will have a certificate from CSF. Yes, there is a question if we have readings for people that it's not working in the field. Yes, we have. You will have access basically to our library. Sorry, I get some extra messages here in my Zoom. Thank you so much for being here in the webinar, Keiko. If you have, any of you have any additional question, or if there are questions in the Facebook account, Sam, Lizzie, do we have any other questions?
No questions in the Facebook account yet, but one thing I wanted to note with Keiko's question is that with this course, you're not meant to have any experience in these. I think that a lot of people come in without any sort of understanding of how you can use economics in the field, what sort of leverage you can take in the field. So it's really meant to introduce you to this kind of range of tools and this range of theory, concepts, knowledge that then continue to aid you within this course. So yeah, you definitely don't need to know anything. And then there's also so there's no like pre-reading you have to do. We'll also be providing a lot of materials throughout the course to continue kind of helping you ease into economics and ease into the field specific concepts.
Great. Thank you, Lizzie. Okay.
We had one more question come in from Tonya. Do you focus on degrowth at all?
degrowth. We don't have a specific module where we talk about degrowth, but we do have some webinars that will be topics, extra topics that are not going to be covered during the modules. That are going to be about very different topics, and this is one that we should definitely include, Tonya. And those will be accessible for alumni. So not directly in the course, but on a series of webinars that we will be creating. I would like to know if there is an assignment exam at the end. No, we have some requirements to get your certificate at the end. You will have to fill out a couple of exams, one at the beginning and one at the end. We're not looking for a specific grade here. Is just for you to answer the questions so we can know how much knowledge the entire group gain during the course. The requirements are also not about attendance, so you don't need to have any specific number of times that you join. The requirements are more about filling out some information that we need from you, coming and completing some of the materials in the platform. It's basically that. If Lizzie, you want to complement any other requirements that we have for the certification.
Yeah, typically for this course, we have a couple of starting forms, like a participant information form and a pre-course quiz that kind of just allows you to assess where you're at with economics and everything. And then as we go through the course, we may require attendance for some sessions, but we've typically been pretty lenient on that. And then at the end, you just have to take the post-course quiz and also fill out an evaluation for us. And those are kind of the major criteria in order to receive that certificate of completion. So I think you covered it.
Great. Okay, so just one more minute that we have. If there is any other question, or just thank you so much for joining us and joining this webinar. I hope and we hope that you register, that you use this webinar discount code and join us for our 26th edition of the Numbers for Nature training, the Conservation and Finance for Environmental Leadership course that we have. Remember, this is going to happen from July 8th through September 13th. 10 weeks, 2 live sessions in the regular times, 1 extra session every week, and all the information will be available for you during the course in our platform, and also during 3 more months, extra months after the course is finished, that you will be able to access all the materials from the course in the platform. So thank you so much for your participation, your questions, to David Meyers, Thais, to Sarah Chiles, David Johnson, and the incredible training and communications team for joining and making this webinar happen today. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in a month that the course will start.